6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. Y'all, I got another video for y'all. This is talking about Kylan Boswell and the transfer report. Let's get into it. So, Arizona guard Kylan Boswell is entering the transfer portal, and I'm surprised because I seen him finishing his career at Tucson, but I guess not. But best wishes to wherever he decides to go. I feel, my opinion, my assumption, my guess is that this happened because he started to see his minutes and his role on this team diminish. You look at the beginning of the season, and he was very impressive. And it's what you expect from a sophomore guard. One thing I really love about his game, him and Tyrese Proctor, is that for their age, I believe him and Tyrese Proctor were 19 this year, but last year was 18. For their age, they show so much care for the ball, so much ball security. They don't make ill-advised passes, and they make great decisions. And, for somebody that age, that's, to have that much, that much maturity is just, it's second to none. Like it's really rare. It takes time for some guys, but their feel for the game is next level. But he was very impressive at the beginning of the year, and those other guys fit right in. He looked like, he had chemistry with other guys, the other transfers who fit right in, and C Love from UNC and Keyshawn from San Diego State. So it was impressive. But then you get to the midway point towards the end of the season, and you see him start to struggle and go through a shooting slump and just really have a hard time out there. And a lot of these Pac-12 games where, respectfully, Arizona shouldn't have lost, which I fucking hate saying that. Yeah, I know. It's a day in, day out kind of thing. Football says any given Sunday. You never know, and I don't want to do the on paper, but on paper, they lost a couple Pac-12 games they're not supposed to. Excuse me. Damn. Yeah, they lost a couple Pac-12 games that they're not supposed to. So you seen to that midway point to the end of the season is like he had games where he was putting up donuts. He had games where he was barely grazing double-digit points. And that's kind of where it shifted into it being the opposite for the Alabama transfer, Jaden Bradley. Jaden Bradley at the beginning of the season was struggling to find his way within this Arizona team. But you've seen midway to the end of the season, he started to get his jumper going consistently and started to be aggressive on the offensive end. And then in their last game against Clemson, which I did a review on, if you didn't watch the game or if you did and you just want to go back and watch it, whatever, KJ Lewis and his defensive presence kept him in there in the first half. And in the second half, it was a Jaden Bradley show. I'm not just talking about that three-pointer with a minute left. He was aggressive when Clemson got to the bonus. He was aggressive on getting to the line. And then defensively, he was locked in, and his defensive effort had to be applauded. So Kylan started to see sometimes in crunch time, I'm on the bench. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for guys to make a big play, when the game's on the line, I'm not in there. So I feel like that's, partially what it is. And that's a reach, guys. But I'm telling you, like, my opinion, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I haven't read anything. And 9 times out of 10, the players, when they transfer, they're never going to tell you why they transferred. It's up to you to just take a guess anyway, because they're just going to be very respectful, as they should, to the university and to those other guys and, the coaching staff, whatnot. So that's a reach. But y'all, reach, we're going to extend your arm even further. We're reaching even further. I also feel like he didn't really get the offensive touches. This might happen because he didn't really get the offensive touches that he wanted. Now, granted, he is a true point guard, like I said, and a very unselfish player. But you guys got to think, 2 years ago when Kirk Creaser was here, Kirk Creaser was shooting that bitch. Wildcat fans know Kirk Creaser was letting that bitch go. But with that being said, when he transferred and he left to West Virginia, props to Kirk Creaser, that Kylan is now feeling and knowing that, hey, this is the me and Balo show. Of course, B gonna get his touches. He's got to touch the ball. It's got to happen. Shit, it was happening when Kirk Creaser was here. So why is it not gonna happen now? So B gonna get his touches, but for the most part, it's the me and Balo show. I'm gonna create. I'm gonna feed him. And, Pella Larson, he going to get his touches too, but really it's me and Balo. So I feel like that dynamic changed when C Love had credit issues at Michigan, and now he's a Wildcat. I feel like that changed when Keyshawn came from San Diego State. So now that's a lot of mouths to feed. And nigga, I said that at the beginning of the season. I was like, when I seen that, I was like, damn, like Kylan can score, Kylan can go. You know C Love. You know C Love. Even if C Love not hitting, he letting that bitch go. Props to C Love. C Love can go. Pella Larson can go. Keyshawn can go. Ballo can go. It's like, damn, that's a lot of mouths to feed. So I feel like that's partially what it is too. Now that's even more of a reach, guys. That's even more of a reach. But I really believe more the first reason than the second reason. The second one is just like, I'm literally just talking out my ass. But the first one I do stand behind. But yeah. But props to Kylan Boswell. I'm not sure where he'll go, but any team that gets him will be a steal. A great decision maker, great point guard, a guy who can always get his teammates involved. And the chemistry that he has with his guys is just unmatched. And a pick and roll maestro, like a guy who can just get to whatever spot he needs to get to and could just tear your team apart from the pick and roll and, really involve his lob threat. And a guy with quick hands on the defensive end. Guy who can, get to his mid-range, get to his floater. So whoever gets him will have a steal. But like I said, props to Kylan Boswell. Best wishes to him. Props to Tommy Lloyd and what they did this year. Clemson was a great team. Although people won't want to say that, Clemson was a great team. PJ Hall, you know what I'm saying, and what they had going on there, Chef. They didn't lose to, they ain't losing no scrubs. You know what I'm saying? Clemson's a great team. And also that game, they struggled shooting. So it's a game that they could have won, but it is what it is. But like I said, props to Kylan Boswell, best wishes. Props to Tommy Lloyd and that team. Props to everyone else. But don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, share to the team, share to your friends. I'm going to fucking them out.